Okay, Yumis today.
They've got some fabulous dips that we can definitely taste and see how they're made.
Look, I do love a baba ganoush. I love a little bit of hummus. And I know that they do a wonderful beetroot dip.
Well, good navigating, Rich.
Fantastic.
Just a stone's throw from Melbourne. Hello, I'm Karen.
I'm Bradley. Richard, pleased to meet you. Welcome to Yumi's.
Look, it's so lovely to come and see you because Richard and I are cooking with some of your products and they're great products and we really want to learn more about them.
Well, let's get suited up and give you a tour.
Wonderful.
Show us the magic, Brad.
I get to wear hairnets and stuff.
We do. Lovely fashion accessories they are.
Right.
So this is our mixing room. This is where all the magic happens. This is where we actually blend all of the products.
It's a long way from its humble beginnings.
Look, it is. And I think one of the things that's really different about Yumi's is that when they started making the dips for friends and family and their community, they haven't changed. The products are as natural as they would have made them 20 years ago.
The food intolerant market now is so big, but all your products are naturally gluten and dairy free, aren't they?
They are, just by nature, the fact that it's a Jewish company and they don't actually generally use dairy or gluten ingredients in their products. So naturally, they've always been gluten and dairy free, but now the market's growing.
So lead us through some of your biggest sellers.
One of the biggest sellers in the market here is obviously Hommus, but we also have zucchini bites. They're also gluten and dairy free, obviously. We actually blend them here from fresh ingredients, and then we actually fry them, we cool them, and then we actually just pack them.
I'm really interested in your beetroot dips. I'm developing a dish using one of them, so if I could try a few of them, that'd be great.
That's fantastic. Let's go try some.
Okay.
Right.
Well, Rich, we've got the hummus,
Got the mental
zucchini
bites.
bites. We need the roasted beetroot dip.
I think this is what you're looking for.
Yep, that's wonderful. I might need a couple of those, eh?
I think you should take the whole box.
Thank you for showing Rich and I around. It's been so great to see a company true to its original recipes on such a large scale.
Thank you for coming.
And I really look forward to cooking with the products.
Okay, bye.
Lovely day, Karen. Look at this.
I love cooking by the beach, Rich. And you know what? Dips are a great way to entertain. Oh, you picked up some beetroot.
Yep.
Awesome.
Hello.
Oh, mandarins.
Yeah.
Rich, what we're going to do today is, starting with a great beetroot dip, we're just going to elevate it further and turn it into a big entertaining platter.
Lovely.
Rich,
Yes.
a great way to cook beetroot really quite quickly, instead of boiling them or roasting them whole, is to grab a couple.
Yep.
And all you do is cut them in thickish pieces, just under a centimetre,
Yep.
but cut through the whole beetroot so you can see the stem,
The master.
the root on the bottom.
Yeah.
So when you slice them like this and season them up in a baking tray, they don't take very long at all, about half an hour, and they look like this.
Okay. Okay.
So they shrink down a little bit, but what they've done is taken on the flavour.
You can smell the cinnamon just in the background.
And if you flip them over, Rich, you can see
Yeah.
vibrant colour. How gorgeous
Oh,
is
look
that?
at that.
So we've got our roasted beetroot. Now we're going to do some pickled beetroot. We've got some julienne beetroot
Yep.
there. It's totally raw.
Yep.
Then we're going to make a really quick pickling liquid literally over it.
Okay.
So a touch of sweetness, some
Yep.
maple syrup.
All right.
So splash that over, Rich. Around and around. A little bit more.
A little bit more.
And about 80 mils of apple cider vinegar.
Yep. Here we go.
Yep. And Rich, about a teaspoon of salt. So now, if you could mix that through. You can use your hands, but you will be stained with
Yeah.
beetroot. This just needs to set aside for a little while to soften.
Okay.
Now, beetroot goes really well with citrus. Orange, blood orange, or even mandarin. So I thought we could peel them
Yep.
and maybe slice them up, and we can add that to the salad as well.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to chop some hazelnuts. These have just been scorched in a dry pan, and we've got that lovely charring on the outside.
Nice.
Great flavour. Just a little handful.
Oh.
I think the hazelnut, mandarin, and the beetroot is quite a contemporary flavour together. Yeah.
All right. There we are.
Okay, so just slice them, Rich. Like, look at that.
Okay, cool. Into 5.
If you can.
Yeah, sweet.
Look how beautiful they are.
Beautiful.
While you're doing that, Rich, the beetroot's
Yep.
still lovely and warm. So we're ready to plate up. We'll start off with the Yumi's roasted beetroot dip in the bottom. I'm going to build this dish. I'm really
It's
excited.
about layering.
It is. So that's the base for this salad.
All right.
Next on with, see how we go here, Rich.
Okay.
Oh, that's lovely, Rich.
I do love these ones. They're quite nice.
And then we'll put some of the golden ones just in here. We'll sprinkle a little salt over the mandarin.
Yep.
Now, believe it or not, the salt actually makes the mandarin flavour more intense and just softens off the sweetness, because this is a savoury salad. Yeah, let's just put some of the mandarin around. Next on with a little bit of the pickled beetroot. Let's have a look at that now. You can see it's softened and it has this sharp but crunchy flavour. And the idea with this sort of entertaining platter, it's the same everywhere on it, so you're not having to visit one area to get it.
Absolutely.
So this is when it turns into a salad rather than just a simple dip on the side.
Look at that.
Now, goat's cheese is a fabulous flavour with beetroot. It really emphasises those earthy sweet notes. Along with the goat's cheese, our scorched hazelnuts.
Yep. Nice.
Let's top this salad off with some beetroot chips. This is totally optional, but again, we're adding more crunch and we're following on with that beetroot theme.
This could be your best one yet, I reckon, Karen.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do. Visually, it looks amazing.
And it all starts with a Yumi's roasted beetroot dip. Rich, this is an entertaining platter to get excited about. It's a roasted beetroot salad with goat's cheese and a few other things.
Secret ingredients.
Jackie and Madeline, welcome to the Intolerant Cooks. Now, Jackie is a celiac ambassador for Victoria and Tasmania.
And also 5-time Winter Olympian.
Yes, a while ago.
Tell us a little bit about your story with Madeline.
Well, she's 5 now, but when she was 2, she was diagnosed with celiac disease. And given that the average age is around 40 for diagnosis in Australia, a 2-year-old is really, really young. So it wasn't on the GP's list of things to look for. So she was very unwell for the first 18 months, really.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been such a really scary time for you, just not getting the answers that you needed.
It was scary when we didn't know, but when we had the diagnosis, whilst I didn't know anything about celiac disease, there was something behind all of that was going on, and we felt like now we could actually bring our daughter to life again with a gluten-free diet.
And Madeline responded really quickly when you changed her diet?
She did, like within the first 6 months, she put 5 kilo on.
Yeah.
So it didn't take much to turn it around for her, and she's just like any other kid now. Obviously, there's limitations about what she can and can't have. You know, she's got other allergies as well, but people need to understand that gluten-free really is just a dietary choice, and it is a little bit of a trend right now, which is great for the people that have celiac disease because there's more things on offer. But a celiac is a celiac for life that needs a gluten-free diet to stay healthy and to get the best out of their bodies.
Tell us about the promise you made to Madeline when she got diagnosed.
Being a mum with newborn twins, we found out the day after they were born that she was a celiac. So for months and months, I tried to find things that she liked that were easy for me to make. And when I couldn't find it, I thought, look, I'm just going to make it.
Yeah.
So I created a brand from my own kitchen called Food for Me, because when she goes shopping, what do you ask me?
Is it food for me?
She wonders if it's food for her when it goes into the supermarket trolley.
Bless you.
So it's food for me. It's all frozen doughs. It's cookie dough, pastry doughs, pizza
So I
doughs.
can get it from the shop.
Very good.
I only get it from the shops. Yeah, so it's all frozen doughs,
Get
making
it
it
from
easy
the
for a
shop.
celiac to eat.
Still enjoy,
Yeah, still enjoy.
similar
Yeah,
things.
Yeah, the things that they miss out on.
Well, Jackie and Madeline, it's been so lovely to have you both here today on the Intolerant Cooks. Now, I've got some cooking to do, so I might catch you later.
Get to it.
Ready to go?
This next recipe would be perfect for Madeline, Jackie, and probably the whole family. I've done a bit of a facelift to the old favourite Zucchini and Ham Slice. It now looks like a good-looking savoury muffin. 3 cloves of garlic and 1 onion. The Zucchini and Ham Slice basic recipe actually just started off with the onion and going in raw, but it is much better when you soften it off nicely with some garlic. So into a pan with some olive oil. Over medium heat for a couple of minutes. And a little sprinkle of salt while the onions and garlic are in the pan. Wouldn't go astray. And the salt not only seasons them, it just draws out the moisture in the onions and garlic. I'm a little impatient like the rest of us. It makes the onions and garlic cook a little faster. That's the onions and garlic done. Lovely and golden. Straight into the bowl to cool. Next in with zucchini. Just place the zucchini into a muslin cloth, or you could use a clean tea towel or a chucks, whatever you choose, but all you need to be able to do is just draw the 4 corners in and then gently press the excess moisture out of the zucchini. We'll just pop this in on the onions. Next, we'll add 4 eggs. Just crack the eggs, whisk them together. You're not trying to aerate the eggs, you're just trying to combine the yolk and the white. Then add that in on top of the zucchini and onion. Now let's turn the flavour up on these muffins. We're going to add some cheese. What's a savoury muffin without cheese? I've got 180 grams of Lidl's lactose-free cheese. It's coarsely grated and it's going in. Add some salt and pepper at the same time and then mix together. Oh, and I almost forgot, some parsley. This is totally optional, but the flecks of green through the muffin with the zucchini look great and they taste great. And then just combine well. You know, it's a constant challenge to develop and tweak recipes to make them gluten-free and perfect at the same time. The cassellare flour is a great product and I'm getting really good results because it's about the ratio to the rest of the ingredients in your mix. So I'm using 250 grams of self-raising cassellare flour. Along with, for that extra lift, a teaspoon of baking powder. That's the mix done. To cook the muffins, you'll need a tray. Instead of lining them with paper, I'm going to line them with some ham. And I've got some Bernard's free-range ham here. And literally all you do is tear the slice apart and use the rough end folded in the bottom of the tin. And don't worry about the overhang. That's what ends up lovely and golden brown once they're cooked. And this gorgeous free-range ham from St Bernard's really adds a beautiful salty intensity to the muffins. And grab a couple of tablespoons and just spoon the mix evenly between all 12 muffin holes and we're almost done. When you fill each muffin hole, just press the mix down slightly so that you know that it's pushed down to the bottom against the ham. Now I'm thinking these are looking pretty good, but I want to dress them up a little further with some fresh zucchini for the top. Now this just stays lovely and green whilst they're baking. Along with the zucchini, we'll just put a few pepitas on top as well, just following that lovely green theme. So now we're finished. That's a simple zucchini and cheese mix that's gluten-free, cupped by a generous slice of ham, going into a preheated oven at 180 degrees for 25 minutes. So that's been 25 minutes and I can smell that they're done. Holy dooly. Check those out. They're good looking muffins. So as soon as you take them from the oven, they should just slip out of the tray like that. And you can see that gorgeous little ham frill on the outside. Now it's the old zucchini slice that's had a complete facelift. It's now a ham, cheese and zucchini muffin. Can't wait to slice into one and just check out the texture inside. It's not heavy at all, and it's full of flavour. Delicious. Any time of the day.
Now, Karen, this is something I have every morning. It's a fermented cashew yogurt. I sort of developed it because I didn't want to have dairy, and the only other yogurts out there were a coconut yogurt, which is a little bit too rich.
Yeah, I'm not very fond of a coconut yogurt either.
So it's very simple. It's 150 grams of cashews soaked overnight in filtered water, straight in. Okay, so we've also got our hemp seeds. So this just adds a lot more protein, amino acids, calcium, all the good stuff.
And the nuttiness as well.
So 2 tablespoons. Okay, Karen, this is a broad spectrum probiotic powder. The ones that you can buy that have got 8 to 15 different strains, because you want to set up all that good bacteria and send it down into your gut.
So this is a must for it to ferment.
Yeah. So you only need about half a teaspoon, not too much. And now some soy milk, keeping it plant-based, about 375 mils, which is usually somewhere around about there.
Yeah.
Okay, lid on. That's it.
And away you go.
And away you go.
I love water skiing, Rich.
Yes. Perfect space down over there. About 30 to 60 seconds.
And suddenly, suddenly. All right, straight into a clean jar. Comes out a little bit silky.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah.
So the jar's half full.
Yeah, but that also allows space for the fermentation process to begin. So it'll probably come up about an inch, and you'll be able to see little bubbles on the side of it, and that tells you that the actual fermentation is actually going quite well. So that sits on there.
And where do you leave that now?
There.
So
Side of the bench.
on the kitchen bench
Yep.
for 24 hours.
24 to 36 hours.
Following on with the theme of the cashew nut yogurt,
Yeah.
I thought it might be nice to have a honey hemp brittle. And it's really quite simple. It's a tablespoon and a half of honey into a fry pan, a couple of drops or so of the hemp seed oil. And once the oil and the honey have simmered,
Yep.
add the hemp seed, cashews, almonds, and sesame. And then just flatten them out, because you need the contact of the pan for them to start to scorch or take on colour. The excess moisture in the honey is evaporating, and then you're left with a slightly higher sugar content, but that's how you get the brittle. And then straight off the heat onto some baking paper. And then before we squish it down, Rich, I'm going to add one more ingredient.
Ooh.
This just enhances the brittle. It's just a little pinch of salt over the top.
The honey is sort of caramelised, so it's salted caramel in a way.
Yeah. And then another piece of paper on top, and then press flat. Okay, and we can have a little, there you go. So this just needs to cool right down, and we will put it in the fridge.
Cool. All right, Karen, I just want to make my berry compote. So blackberries, blueberries, and a little bit of maple syrup.
Cool.
Yeah. So into the pan. I'm going to keep some to fold through later. A few blueberries. Turn up the heat. So 1 to 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, depending on your palate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's just a matter of letting the berries break down just a little bit. You just want the berries to split just that little bit.
Yeah, they just gently soften from the warmth of the pan. And Rich, a berry compote should be just dressed or coated in a sauce, not necessarily drowning in it, because you want it to still have the integrity of the berries
Absolutely.
and whatever else you put in.
Especially the blackberries, when they start to cook, they change colour. There's a little bit of redness coming through there.
So would you keep a batch of this in the fridge, Rich?
Well, not for long. It's not going to last long.
Gone.
Okay, you can see the berries just beginning to break down that little bit, which is what we want to see. Perfect. So at this point, I just want to add a little bit more fresh berries to there, so just to keep a little bit of structure and integrity. And I think there's enough blackberries in there. And also, I want to add some orange rind. Now, the orange rind is going to release its oils.
It's just a really gentle scent to the compote. Not to overpower, but enhance.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where it all comes together. We need our brittle, we need our fermented cashew yogurt out of the fridge. Karen?
Thank you.
All right. This is how it looks. You can see the little bubbles. You can see how much it's risen in the fermentation process. So around here, that is gold. So plating up the breakfast berry compote first. Look at all those dark, beautiful, juicy, almost sort of gothic. It's gorgeous.
Ooh, superb, Rich.
There we are.
Glorious
All
colour.
right. Okay, I've got some julienne murdy apple, just for a little bit of freshness, which I do love apple at breakfast. So a little bit of that. Getting some height in there. Okay, here comes the fermented cashew yogurt. See how firm it is?
That's superb.
And you can see how it's almost mousse-like. Just on there.
Wow. It is like a mousse.
Yeah.
And Rich, I've got the hemp honey brittle. Maybe we do a nice, there you go.
All right. What do you reckon? Over the top. Okay, so there you have it. My breakfast berry compote and our fermented cashew yogurt.
It has a really unusual savoury note to it. And that nice fresh tartness. Great with that berry compote.
And you've got all those great probiotics for gut health.